turnover tax was in existence from January. It came into effect after the new amendments on 1st of January 2020, and it ran all the way up to 24th of April 2020, when it applies only to individuals, whereby any person whose turnover or sales in a year was not in excess of 5 million Kenya shillings, he was supposed to be subject to turnover tax at the rate of 3%. And at the same time also, those persons were supposed to pay, again, a tax called presumptive income tax. And presumptive income tax was a tax that was based on the amount of license fee payable to the county government. And the rate of presumptive income tax was 15% of the amount that was payable as license fee to the county government. Now, coming into the new tax amendment in respect of presumptive income tax has been repealed, meaning that from 25th of April 2020, presumptive income tax is no longer applicable. When it comes to turnover tax again, the amendments that have been introduced is that companies have been brought on board. Initially, they were actually exempted from the turnover tax, but now companies have been introduced into the fold of turnover tax. Now, when it comes to the issue of amendment, the rate of turnover tax now has been reduced from 3% to 1% of the turnover. And at the same time also, there is a threshold in which a person is supposed to apply for, in which this tax is supposed to be applicable. Any person whose turnover is from 1 million Kenya shillings up to 50 million Kenya shillings is actually supposed to register for turnover tax, including both individuals as well as companies. So this is a revolutionary measure tax system that has been introduced, because now these people, they are no longer required to maintain books of accounts for purpose of giving records of expenses. They will not be required anymore. The only record that will be required of them is actually to maintain records of sales and records of purchases for purpose of their goods. With the new amendments, companies have been introduced to turnover tax, when in fact before they never used to. They were forming an exemption. But now, companies or corporate bodies that I'm talking about here are those that are taxable. These are bodies that are supposed to be subject to tax. Any person who is not supposed to be paying income tax will not actually be subjected or will not be required to register for turnover tax. But it is only those bodies that normally are required to pay income or corporate tax. Those are the persons who are actually supposed to register. And registering for turnover tax means we are actually coming up with a system whereby we are going to move all persons whose turnover is between 1 million and 50 million Kenya shillings. We are going to move all of them to turnover tax. But there is also a window for those persons whom we have moved, that if a person elects to remain under the normal, to continue paying income taxes, then they are actually supposed to apply to the commissioner to move from turnover tax to normal income tax regime. So it is only by applications, but we are going to move every other person to turnover tax.